The human came home after a long mission. His small house stood alone at the edge of the colony, far from the city lights. Dust covered the ground. The sky was dark and quiet. No ships passed above. No voices came through the air. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. The door closed behind him with a soft sound. Silence. Too much silence. Usually the house greeted him with light, a soft system sound, a simple welcome message, but this time nothing happened. The room stayed dark, cold air touched his skin. He stood still. His hand slowly moved to the light panel. He pressed it. The lights turned on. Everything looked normal. The table was in place. The chair was where he left it. His gear bag still rested near the wall. No signs of damage, no broken things, no warning signs. Still, something felt wrong. The air smelled different. Not bad, just unfamiliar. He took one step forward, then another. His boots made a low sound on the floor. It felt too loud in the quiet house. He stopped again and listened. At first, he heard nothing. Then, a sound. Very soft. Breathing. He froze. His heart slowed. His mind focused. He did not move. He did not speak. He only listened. The sound came again. Slow, weak, real. Someone was inside his house. He reached for the small tool at his side. Not a weapon, just a basic defense device. He held it low and moved carefully toward the sound. The breathing came from the inner room. The room he used for storage. He stopped at the doorway. The door was open. The light inside was dim. At first he saw nothing. Then he noticed movement. A shadow shifted near the far wall. He stepped closer. "Hello," he said quietly. No answer. The shadow moved again, slow, careful, like it was afraid. He raised the light level. And then he saw her. She sat on the floor, her back against the wall. Her body was thin. Her skin was pale, not human, but close enough to feel familiar and strange at the same time. Long, dark eyes looked up at him. She was not wearing clothes. Not because she chose to. Because she had nothing. No tools, no bag, no signs of technology, just bare skin marked with dirt and small wounds. She looked weak. Very weak. Her arms wrapped around herself, trying to stay warm. Her breathing was shallow. Her eyes were wide, filled with fear, but also something else. Hope. The human did not move. He had seen aliens before. Many kinds, some friendly, some dangerous. But this was different. She did not look like a fighter. She looked like someone who had run for a very long time. Slowly, he lowered the defense device. He took off his jacket and placed it on the floor between them. Then he stepped back. She stared at the jacket. For a moment, she did not move. Then carefully, she reached for it and pulled it around herself. Her hands shook as she did. She did not attack him. She did not run. She just sat there, breathing, trying to stay awake. "Who are you?" he asked. His voice was calm, but his mind raced with questions. How did she get here? Why his house? Why now? She lifted her head. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. She swallowed and tried again. "Human," she said. The word was clear. "Perfect." His eyes widened. She knew his language. That shocked him more than her presence. "Yes," he said slowly, "I am human." She looked at him for a long moment, as if making sure he was real. Then her strength failed her. Her body leaned forward, and she almost fell. He moved quickly and caught her before she hit the floor. She was lighter than he expected, too light. She did not fight him. She only whispered one thing, her voice barely a sound. "No hope." Then she closed her eyes. At that exact moment, a warning sound filled the house. A low alert. The wall screen turned on by itself. Unknown signal detected. The human looked from the screen to the unconscious alien woman in his arms. And he understood one thing clearly. This was not an accident. This was the beginning of something much bigger. The human did not sleep that night. The house was quiet again, but now the silence felt heavy, like it was watching him. The alien woman lay on the small bed in the inner room. He had covered her with a clean thermal sheet. A medical light hovered above her, scanning slowly. Her breathing was weak but steady. Alive. That alone surprised him. Most intruders came with weapons. Some came with lies, some came to steal or kill. But she came with nothing, no armor, no tools, no power. Only fear. He stood near the doorway, keeping distance. His hand rested close to the control panel. One command could lock the room. One command could call colony security. He did neither. Instead, he watched. Her face changed as she slept. Sometimes her eyes moved fast, like she was running even in dreams. Sometimes her fingers curled tightly, as if holding something invisible. Pain lived inside her. After some time, her eyes opened. She woke suddenly, gasping for air. Her body tried to sit up but failed. She looked around fast, panic filling her eyes. "No," she whispered. "No cage." Her voice shook. "You are safe," the human said. She froze. Slowly, she turned her head and looked at him. Her eyes focused, sharp but tired. She did not scream, she did not attack. She only stared. "You speak," she said, soft. "Yes," he answered, "I speak." She relaxed just a little. Her body sank back into the bed. "You did not bind me," she said. "No," he replied. "You did not leave me outside." "No." Her eyes closed for a moment. When they opened again, something had changed. The fear was still there. But now there was confusion. "Why?" she asked. The human did not answer right away. He chose his words carefully. "You were dying," he said. "I do not let people die in my house." She listened closely, like each word mattered. "I am not people," she said. He shook his head. "Tonight," he said, "you are." She was quiet after that. The medical light finished its scan and showed the results. Severe exhaustion, dehydration, minor injuries, no hidden weapons, no harmful systems. She was telling the truth. She really had nothing. "Do you have a name?" he asked. She hesitated. "My name is not safe," she said slowly. "Names carry history." "Then choose another," he said. She thought for a moment. "Lyra," she said. He nodded. "Lyra." She tried to sit up again. This time he helped her with a pillow. She accepted the help but watched his hands closely. "You are alone," she said. "Yes." "Why do you live so far from others?" "Quiet helps me think," he answered. She smiled faintly. "Then I chose well," she said. That sentence made his chest tighten. "You chose this place?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "I saw your house from the sky. No guards, no weapons, no flags." "No flags," he repeated. She nodded. "Flags mean power. Power attracts hunters." That word caught his attention. "Hunters?" he asked. Her eyes darkened. "They hunt my kind," she said, "because we remember." "Remember what?" She did not answer. Instead, she looked toward the wall, where the screen still showed the warning symbol. The unknown signal pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. "They are close," she said. His body tensed. "Who?" She looked back at him. "Those who should never reach your world," she said. The house lights flickered for a second. Outside, far above the atmosphere, something moved. The human walked to the window and looked up at the dark sky. Nothing was visible. But his systems did not lie. Multiple signals. Approaching. Behind him, Lyra spoke again, her voice calm but heavy. "If they find me," she said, "they will not ask who you are." He turned back to her. "And if I give you up?" he asked. She met his eyes without anger. "Then you will live," she said. The silence returned. But this time it was not empty. It was waiting. Morning did not come with sunlight. It came with alarms. The human stood in the control room as quiet warning lights blinked across the wall. No loud sirens, no panic signals, just a steady alert, calm and cold. Unknown ships. Long-range range. Holding position. They were waiting. Behind him, Lyra sat on the floor near the window, wrapped in the jacket he had given her. She watched the sky like someone watching a memory, not a place. "You should run," she said. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled. He did not answer right away. He checked the scans again. The ships were not attacking, not yet. "They are not hiding," he said. "That means they want to be seen." "Yes," Lyra replied. "They want fear first." He turned to her. "Tell me everything." She looked at him for a long time, then she nodded. "My people were not warriors," she began. "We were watchers. We studied stars. We kept records. We remembered what others forgot." "Why does that matter?" he asked. "Because empires are built on lies," she said, "and lies do not like memory." She pulled her knees closer to her chest. "When the hunters came," she continued, "they did not destroy our cities at first. They asked questions. They wanted our records, our history, our warnings." "What warnings?" "That some species grow fast," she said. "Too fast, they take worlds before they understand them." The human frowned. "And you warned them?" "Yes, we warned many, including them." She looked up at him. "They did not forgive us." The room stayed quiet as her words settled. "They burned our cities," she said softly. "Not with fire, with silence. They erased signals, they broke skis, they left nothing alive that could speak." "Except you," he said. "Yes," she replied, "because I ran." She told him about the escape ship. Old, broken, built only for study, not war. She told him how it barely jumped through space, how systems failed one by one. "And you chose my house," he said. "I chose a place without power," she answered, "a place that did not shout into space." He understood then. His quiet life, his simple home, his distance from the colony. It saved her. The control panel chimed again. Closer now. The human felt the weight of choice press down on him. "You said they hunt memory," he said. "Then why follow you?" "Because memory lives in minds," she said, "and mine is full." She stood slowly and walked toward him. She stopped a few steps away, respecting his space. "I know their roots," she said, "their codes, their mistakes." "You are a weapon," he said. "No," she corrected him, "I am a warning." The ships shifted position. One signal moved ahead of the others. "A scout." The human's jaw tightened. "You brought a war to my door," he said. "Yes," she answered, "but I did not choose you because you are strong." "Then why?" he asked. She looked at him carefully. "Because humans still choose," she said. "You are not ruled by one voice. You argue, you doubt, you stop and think." He almost laughed. "That does not sound powerful." "It is," she said. "Empires fear choice. Choice breaks control." Outside, the sky darkened as something passed between the stars. The scout ship entered orbit. The house systems whispered warnings. Energy scans. Unknown weapons. Unknown intent. The human took a slow breath. "If I hand you over," he said, "they leave." "Yes. And if I do?" She met his eyes. "Then they will learn something new," she said. "What?" he asked. She did not smile. "That humans do not erase the weak." The scout ship sent a signal. A demand. "Turn over the asset." The human placed his hand on the console. He had lived quietly for years. Avoided conflict. Avoided attention. Avoided history. Now history had found him anyway. He looked at Lyra. "Stay behind me," he said. Her eyes widened. "You choose danger," she said. "No," he replied. "I choose responsibility." Outside, the scout ship powered its weapons. Inside the house, a human made a decision the galaxy would remember. The scout ship did not fire. It hovered above the house, silent and patient, like a hunter that knew its prey had nowhere to run. The sky outside looked calm, but the air inside the house felt tight. The human stood still at the control panel. One command could end everything. He could open a channel. He could give them what they wanted. He could live. Behind him, Lyra waited. She did not beg, she did not cry. She only watched him, her face calm in a way that came from long loss. "You should decide fast," she said quietly. "They do not like delays." He nodded, "I know." He looked at the screen again, the message repeated in simple, cold words. Turn over the asset, no harm will come to you. Asset. Not person. Not life. Just a thing. The human felt anger rise, slow and steady. They promise safety, he said. Do they keep promises? Lyra shook her head, only until they do not need to. He turned away from the panel and walked to the window. The scout ship reflected faint light, smooth and dark, built for control, not for beauty. How many times have you seen this? He asked. Too many, she answered. Always the same words, always the same ending. He faced her again. If I give you up, he said, they leave. Yes. And if I hide you? They will search, she said. They will scan, they will ask the colony. And if I run? She looked down, they will follow. The truth sat between them. There was no easy path, only different kinds of loss. The human walked to a storage unit and opened it. Inside were old supplies, emergency rations, power cells, a small transport beacon. He took the beacon out and held it in his hand. I could send you away, he said, far, somewhere random. She stepped closer. They will trace it. Eventually, he agreed. The scout ship sent another message. Final warning. The house lights dimmed slightly as external scanners swept across the walls. Lyra closed her eyes. I did not come to be saved forever, she said. I came so the truth would live longer than me. He studied her face. There was fear there, but no weakness. She had already accepted an ending that frightened him more than the ships outside. You think this is only about you, he said. She opened her eyes. Is it not? No, he replied. It is about what kind of people we decide to be. He returned to the control panel and disabled the external transmitters. The scout ship would see silence now. A risk. A message of its own. What are you doing? Lyra asked. Buying time, he said, and making a point. The scout ship shifted. Its engines glowed brighter. They did not like silence. The human moved quickly. He activated internal shields, weak, civilian-grade, never meant for a ship weapon. He knew they would not hold long. But long enough. Listen to me, he said to Lyra. If things go bad, you run to the back exit. The tunnel leads into the rocks. Follow it until the signal fades. And you, she asked. He did not answer. She understood anyway. Her voice dropped. You owe me nothing. He looked at her, really looked at her. That is where you are wrong, he said. I owe you a choice. The scout ship powered weapons. The house shook slightly. Dust fell from the ceiling. The human opened a local channel not to the ship but to the colony network. Short range. Low power, hard to trace. He sent one message. Unknown forces in orbit. Possible threat. Stand by. It was not a call for help. It was a warning. Lyra stared at him. You just involved others. Yes, he said. They deserve to know. The scout ship finally spoke. Its voice was flat, mechanical. You are obstructing lawful recovery. The human stepped forward. She is not property, he said, and this is not your world. There was a pause. Then the ship replied. Human lives are irrelevant to this operation. The words settled like ice. The human smiled, but there was no joy in it. That, he said softly, is where you are wrong. The scout ship fired. The shield flared bright, screaming as it took the hit. The house held. Barely. The human turned to Lyra one last time. Stay behind me, he said. She hesitated, then nodded. Outside, the first shot of a much larger conflict echoed through space. And a single human stood in its way. The second shot never came. The scout ship hovered in the sky, its weapons glowing, but it did not fire again. It waited, watching, measuring. The human knew this pause was not mercy. It was study. Inside the house, the shield hummed weakly. Power levels dropped fast. Civilian systems were never meant to face war machines. Lyra stood behind him, silent. They are learning you, she said. He nodded, let them. He moved away from the control panel and opened another storage locker. Inside were old tools from past missions. Nothing advanced, nothing special, just human things. Simple things: a handheld jammer, signal flares, manual power switches. Lyra watched him closely. "You are calm," she said. "I am focused," he replied. "There is a difference." Outside, the scout ship released small drones. They spread out, scanning the ground, the rocks, the house. "They will breach soon," Lyra said. "They always do." The human knelt and began placing the signal flares near the walls. "They assume strength comes from size," he said. "From weapons, from numbers." He activated the jammer. The house lights flickered again. The drones outside slowed. Their formation broke slightly. Lyra's eyes widened. "You interfere with their systems," she said. "I confuse them," he corrected. "Big difference." The scout ship sent another message. "Human, surrender the asset. Your resistance is illogical." The human ignored it. Instead, he opened a manual hatch in the floor. Below it was an old service tunnel, narrow and dark. "Remember what I told you," he said to Lyra. "If I say run, you run." She shook her head. "I will not abandon you." "You will," he said calmly, "because surviving is how truth wins." The drones descended closer. One touched the shield. The shield failed. The house lights died. Darkness filled the room. For a moment, there was nothing. Then, the human triggered the flares. Bright white light exploded through the house, blinding sensors and eyes alike. The drones outside lost control, crashing into each other. The scout ship pulled back slightly. Confusion. That was the moment. The human moved fast. He rerouted power manually, bypassing damaged systems. Sweat ran down his face, but his hands were steady. Lyra stared at him. "You planned this," she said. "I hoped for it," he answered. The scout ship spoke again, its tone changed. "You are inefficient, you will fail." The human smiled. "You assume fear makes us weak," he said. "Fear makes us careful." The ship launched ground units. Dark figures descended near the house, armored and tall. Not soldiers, enforcers, built to intimidate. Lyra's breath caught. "They are hunters," she whispered. The human stood straight. Then they picked the wrong ground. He opened the outer door. Cold air rushed in. The enforcers advanced, weapons raised. The human raised his hands slowly. "I am unarmed," he said. The hunters stopped. They scanned him. They did not see the pressure plates under the ground. They did not see the power cells buried in the dirt. They did not see the trap. Because humans hide danger in plain sight. The human took one step back. The ground exploded with light and sound. Not deadly. Disabling. Shockwaves knocked the enforcers off balance. Their systems overloaded. They fell, twitching. The scout ship pulled higher into the sky. Now it understood. "This is why," Lyra said softly, watching through the smoke. "This is why they fear humans." "Why?" he asked. "Because you do not fight the way others do," she said. "You adapt." The ship sent a final message, colder than before. "This encounter will be reported." The human wiped dust from his face. "Good," he said. "Let them report it." The enforcers did not rise again. Not dead, just useless. Silence returned. But this time it was different. It was not waiting. It was thinking. Lyra stepped beside him. "You have shown them something," she said. "They will not forget." He looked up at the sky. "Neither will we," he replied. Far above, the scout ship turned away. Not defeated, but no longer confident. And across the stars, a quiet message spread. Humans were not the strongest species, but they were the most dangerous kind. The kind that learned. The scout ship did not leave the system. It only moved farther away, joining the larger shadows waiting beyond the stars. The human knew what that meant. The pause was over. The real force was coming. Inside the house, power was low. Systems were damaged. The shield was gone for good. Lyra sat on the floor, her back against the wall, breathing slowly. She looked tired, but her eyes were sharp. "They are calling others," she said. This time they will not test you. The human nodded. I didn't expect them to. He moved through the house, checking each room. He sealed doors. He rerouted power. He shut down anything that sent signals into space. The house became quiet again. Not peaceful. Prepared. You can still leave, Lyra said. Take a transport, say nothing, they may let you go. He stopped and looked at her. You know they won't, he said. She did not argue. Outside, the sky changed. One ship became three. Three became many. Large shapes formed slowly, blocking the stars. Their lights were cold and steady, no rush, no fear. They were certain. The human stood at the center of the room. This is where it ends, he said. Lyra rose to her feet. Not for me. She stepped forward and placed her hand on the control panel. Symbols flashed, old, alien, precise. What are you doing? He asked. I am done running, she said. I remember too much to hide. The panel responded to her touch. New data appeared. Roots. Weak points. Patterns. The human stared. You held this back, he said. I was not sure of you, she replied. Now I am. The first strike hit the ground outside. The house shook hard. A wall cracked. Dust fell like rain. Warnings filled the air. Structural failure. Multiple breaches incoming. The human took a deep breath. Stay close, he said. They moved together through the narrow halls as another blast tore into the rocks nearby. The back wall collapsed, opening the house to the cold night. Figures descended from the sky. Hunters, many of them. They moved in perfect lines, weapons ready, steps calm and certain. They had numbers, they had power. They had no doubt. The human stepped outside. Lyra grabbed his arm. You will die. Yes, he said, but not quietly. He activated the last device he had saved. A beacon. It sent no message. It only recorded. Every movement. Every attack. Every word. Why, Lyra asked. So no one can say they didn't know, he answered. The hunters stopped a short distance away. Their leader stepped forward, taller than the rest. Human, it said, you have delayed the inevitable. The human looked at it. Then finish it, he replied. The leader raised its weapon. Lyra stepped beside the human. I stand as witness, she said, and memory. The leader paused. Memory is irrelevant, it said. Lyra smiled, tired but fierce. That is where you always fail, she said. She touched the panel on her wrist. A signal burst outward, not strong, not loud, but clever. It slipped through gaps in the hunter's network. Confusion spread. Weapons hesitated. Orders conflicted. Systems lagged. The human moved. He used smoke. He used terrain. He used timing. Not to win. To hold. One hunter fell, then another. Not destroyed, disabled, slowed, broken just enough. But there were too many. A blast threw the human to the ground. Pain flared through his side. He struggled to rise. Lyra rushed to him. Enough, she said. You've done enough. He looked up at the sky. Ships were still coming. No, he said, not yet. He pushed himself up one last time and stood between Lyra and the hunters. Behind them, far in the distance, something new appeared. Small lights. Fast lights. Human ships. Not a fleet. But not alone. The hunters turned. For the first time, they hesitated. The human smiled through the pain. You took too long, he said. And the galaxy watched as the balance finally began to shift. The hunters did not attack again. They pulled back slowly as if the stars themselves had told them to stop. The human ships did not fire either. They held position, calm and careful, watching every move. Silence filled space. Not the empty kind. The kind that follows a decision. The human stood with difficulty. His side burned with pain, but he stayed on his feet. Lyra supported him, her arms steady around his back. You came, she whispered, watching the distant lights. They always do, he replied. Eventually, the hunter's leader sent one final signal. No threats, no demands. Only a warning. This memory will be contested. Then their ships turned and vanished into the dark. Gone. For now. Rescue teams landed near the broken house. Humans in simple armor moved fast, securing the area, helping the injured. They stopped when they saw Lyra. No one raised a weapon. They waited. The human spoke first. "She is under my protection," he said. His voice was weak but clear, and under human law. There were murmurs, questions, but no arguments. That mattered. Lyra looked around, surprised. "They do not fear me." "They fear what you represent," he said, "and they respect choice." Medical teams treated his wounds. As they worked, scanners passed over Lyra. The results appeared on shared screens. No weapons. No threats. Only data. A lot of data. "She carries entire archives," one technician said quietly. "History, warnings, records erased everywhere else." The human nodded. "That's why they hunted her." The ships above sent a secure signal to Earth and its allies, not a call for war. A call for truth. Days later, the house was gone. The ground where it stood was quiet again, but the story had already left the planet. Lyra stood in a new place now, a human station filled with light, voices, movement. She wore simple clothes, nothing special, nothing that marked her as different. That too mattered. She watched humans argue, laugh, disagree, plan. "So many voices," she said, "no single command." "We prefer it that way," the human replied. He stood beside her, healed but changed. "They will come again," she said. "Not today, not soon, but they will." "Yes," he said, "and next time they won't find us quiet." The records Lyra carried were shared slowly, carefully. Humans listened, some doubted, some argued. But no one erased them. That mattered most of all. Councils formed, borders shifted, old assumptions cracked. For the first time in a long time, the galaxy saw humans not as soldiers or traitors, but as listeners. Lyra was given a choice. Stay hidden, or speak. She chose to speak. Not loudly, not with anger, with memory. She told them about her people, about worlds lost not to war but to silence, about empires that feared truth more than weapons. When she finished, the room was quiet. Not empty. Thinking. A human leader stood and said only one thing. "You are welcome here." Lyra felt something she had not felt in a very long time. Relief. Later, she stood at a window, watching ships pass. "I came with no clothes," she said softly. "No hope, no future." The human nodded, "And now?" "And now," she said, "I have a home." The galaxy changed that day, not because of a great battle or a powerful fleet, but because one human opened his door and chose not to look away. Far away among the stars, stories began to spread. Not about how strong humans were, but about how dangerous kindness could be, when backed by memory, choice, and the will to stand. And somewhere deep in space, old empires listened. And for the first time, they were afraid.